Most people think discipline is hard because they're lazy or broken, but the truth is far simpler. Discipline feels impossible at first because your brain is fighting for its life. It's trying to protect the identity you've built, the routines you're used to, and the comfort you've normalized. When you try to change, your mind doesn't see it as self-improvement. It sees it as a threat. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why discipline feels so difficult in the beginning, and why it gets easier, almost automatic once you break through the first barrier. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, not successful. Safety means routine. Repeating the same behaviors you did yesterday, even if they didn't help you. That old identity, the one that procrastinates, avoids challenges, and chooses comfort, is familiar. It's what your mind knows, and anything unfamiliar feels dangerous. This is why discipline feels impossible at first. You're not fighting weakness. You're fighting biology. Point 1. Your brain rejects anything that feels unfamiliar. When you decide to wake up earlier, go to the gym, or start building a better life, you're doing something unfamiliar. And your brain instantly pushes back. It says things like, not today. You're tired. You'll start tomorrow. That's not laziness. That is your survival system doing exactly what it's designed to do. Keep you inside the boundaries of the life you currently live. Your brain has no idea that the new habit is good for you. It just knows it's new. And new means uncomfortable. So the resistance you feel isn't a flaw. It's proof that you're stepping into a version of yourself your brain hasn't adjusted to yet. Point 2. Discipline forces an identity shift. Most people fail at discipline because they are trying to change their actions without changing the identity behind those actions. If you see yourself as someone inconsistent, you'll stay inconsistent. If you see yourself as someone who quits, you'll quit. If you see yourself as someone who isn't the type to be disciplined, you'll live up to that story. Discipline feels impossible at first because the action doesn't match the identity. You're trying to act like someone you don't yet believe you are, and your brain fights it. The moment you tell yourself, I am the type of person who follows through, the habits start aligning. Discipline becomes easier not because the work is easier, but because the identity behind it is stronger. You stop relying on motivation. You stop negotiating with yourself. You simply do what the person you're becoming would do. Point 3. Your mind has to build a new normal. This is the part most people never reach. When you push through the beginning, the part that feels impossible, something changes. Your brain starts to accept the new routine. The habit stops feeling foreign. The identity starts to evolve. And suddenly, discipline becomes your new normal. The first 10 workouts are hard. The next 10 are tolerable. After that, they're automatic. The first month of saving money feels restrictive. The next month feels controlled. After that, it feels natural. The first attempts to break old habits feel exhausting. The next attempts feel empowering. After that, they feel necessary. Discipline feels impossible at first because you're building a new baseline. But once that baseline is built, discipline no longer feels like effort. It feels like alignment. Action step. Build a 7-day non-negotiable. Here is the simplest way to break the resistance. Pick one habit, not 10, and commit to it for the next 7 days without negotiation. Not if I feel like it. Not if my schedule allows it. Non-negotiable. Wake up at the same time. Read 10 minutes every morning. Do a workout. Save a set amount of money. Whatever aligns with your future self. 7 days is enough to break the identity of someone who never follows through. It's enough to prove to your brain that the new habit is safe. And once your mind understands that, discipline stops feeling like a battle. Discipline becomes who you are. Closing thought: discipline isn't impossible. It just feels that way in the beginning because you haven't rewritten your identity yet. You are stepping into a version of yourself your mind doesn't know how to recognize. A more capable, more focused, more powerful version. And like anything unfamiliar, it feels uncomfortable at first. But that discomfort is the doorway. Push through it once, and the life on the other side is one most people will never experience. The beginning is hard, the rest becomes inevitable.